Welcome to Magazine News and Gossip. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest juicy updates and heart-stopping stories from the world of celebrities. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked-about sagas in recent times. A tale of love, loss, and an unyielding fight for redemption. Have you ever wondered what it truly takes to win back the love of your life? What if the stakes were higher than ever, with the eyes of millions watching your every move? In today's episode, we explore the dramatic and emotional journey of Yaman, a man who is determined to rekindle a love that once brought him unimaginable joy. But as with all great love stories, this one is fraught with twists, turns, and heart-wrenching challenges. Yaman, a name synonymous with charm and talent, has recently found himself in the center of a storm. One that he never anticipated but is now facing head-on. His mission? To win back the heart of his former love, Demet Özdemir, after a series of events that nearly destroyed everything they once had. But how did this once golden couple fall apart? And can they ever find their way back to each other? Their love story was nothing short of a fairy tale. The chemistry between Can and Demet was undeniable, both on screen and off. Fans were captivated by their romance, which quickly became a favorite topic for gossip columns and social media alike. Everywhere they went, their every move was documented, analyzed, and discussed. Their love seemed destined for a happy ending, until it all came crashing down. But what could have caused such a devastating rift between them? The answer lies in a shocking betrayal that not only stunned their fans but also left Demet with a broken heart. As their relationship blossomed, Yaman's career soared to new heights. He was the man of the hour, with his charming smile and irresistible presence winning him admirers across the globe. But as his star rose, so did the temptations that came with fame. It was during this time that Can found himself entangled in a situation that would forever change the course of his relationship with Demet. A single confession from Can's dance instructor sent shockwaves through their lives. "If I hadn't been in love with Can, I wouldn't have kissed him," she admitted, her words striking Demet like a lightning bolt. The revelation was more than Demet could bear. The trust she had in Can was shattered, and the fairy tale love story began to unravel. Imagine the pain of realizing that the person you love has betrayed your trust in the most intimate way. For Demet, this betrayal was a wound too deep to ignore. Despite the love that still lingered in her heart, she made the difficult decision to walk away from Can, leaving him to face the consequences of his actions alone. For Yaman, the realization of what he had lost was immediate and profound. The moment Demet walked out of his life, he was overcome with regret, a feeling that would soon consume him. He knew he had made a terrible mistake, one that he would spend every waking moment trying to rectify. But the path to redemption was far from easy. What would you do if you had one last chance to win back the person you love? For Yaman, the answer was clear. He would do whatever it took. He was determined to prove to Demet that he was still the man she fell in love with, and that their love was worth fighting for. But how do you repair a heart that's been broken? Can threw himself into a relentless pursuit of Demet's affection. He participated in countless events, appearing in public more than ever before, always with the hope that Demet would notice the changes he was making. He wanted her to see that he was a new man, one who had learned from his mistakes and was committed to being the partner she deserved. Social media became his stage, a platform where he could express the depth of his feelings for Demet. His posts were filled with heartfelt messages, declarations of love that left his fans buzzing with excitement. Every word, every gesture was a step toward winning Demet back. But there was one thing that Can couldn't control: Demet's silence. How do you fight for love when the person you're fighting for refuses to respond? Despite Can's best efforts, Demet remained silent. Her silence was deafening, a void that Can desperately wanted to fill with the sound of her forgiveness. But as days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the question on everyone's mind became even more pressing. Would Demet ever forgive Can? The public was captivated by this story of love and redemption. Fans around the world were glued to their screens, eagerly awaiting the next chapter in this unfolding drama. Would Can's grand gestures finally break through Demet's defenses, or was their love story destined to end in heartbreak? As we follow this emotional roller coaster, we can't help but ask ourselves, how far would you go to win back the love of your life? For Yaman, the answer was simple. There were no limits. He was willing to sacrifice everything, to go to any lengths, to prove his love for Demet. But love is a two-way street, and as much as Can wanted to rekindle their romance, he couldn't do it alone. The tension reached a boiling point when Can decided to take his efforts to the next level. He planned a series of intimate events, each one carefully designed to remind Demet of the love they once shared. From candlelit dinners to surprise getaways, Can pulled out all the stops. He wanted Demet to see that he was serious about making things right. But despite his best efforts, Demet's heart remained guarded. She had been hurt deeply, and the scars of that betrayal were not easily healed. Can knew he was running out of time, and the fear of losing Demet for good began to weigh heavily on him. He needed a breakthrough, something that would finally reach Demet and convince her to give their love another chance. In the world of love, there are no guarantees. Even the most determined heart can be left broken if the other person isn't ready to forgive. But Can wasn't ready to give up. Not yet. He knew that if he could just find the right words, the right moment, he might be able to reach Demet's heart once more. And so, Yaman embarked on one final, audacious plan. He decided to confront Demet directly, to lay his heart bare and tell her everything he had been feeling since their breakup. It was a risky move, but Can was willing to take that risk if it meant he could win her back. The moment of truth came on a quiet evening, far away from the prying eyes of the media and the public. Can invited Demet to a secluded location, a place that held special meaning for both of them. It was here, away from the chaos of their lives, that Can planned to make his final plea for forgiveness. As they sat together, the tension between them was palpable. Can could see the pain in Demet's eyes, the hurt that he had caused. But he also saw something else, a glimmer of hope, a hint that maybe, just maybe, she was willing to listen. What would you say if you had one last chance to speak your heart? For Yaman, this was his moment. He spoke from the depths of his soul, pouring out his regrets, his hopes, and his undying love for Demet. He acknowledged the pain he had caused and took full responsibility for his actions. But more than anything, he wanted Demet to know that he was ready to be the man she needed, the partner she deserved. Demet listened in silence, her expression unreadable. The minutes stretched on, each one feeling like an eternity for Can. And then finally she spoke. Can, I don't know if I can ever forget what happened, she began, her voice tinged with sadness. But I do believe that people can change, and I see that you've made an effort. Maybe we can try again, but it won't be easy. Those words were all Can needed to hear. It wasn't a guarantee, but it was a chance to rebuild what they had lost, to start over and create a new chapter in their love story. The journey ahead wouldn't be easy. There would be challenges, doubts, and moments of uncertainty. But for Yaman, the opportunity to win back Demet's love was worth every struggle. He was ready to face whatever came their way, as long as they were facing it together. And so, their story continues, a tale of love, redemption, and the power of forgiveness. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, love can find a way to survive, if we're willing to fight for it. As we wrap up today's video, remember that love is a journey, not a destination. And sometimes, the greatest love stories are the ones that are forged through adversity. So, stay tuned to magazine news and gossip for more updates on Can and Demet's journey. And don't forget to subscribe for the latest in celebrity news. Until next time, keep believing in the power of love, because in the end, it's the one thing that can truly change the world.